to the Women's Soccer Show. I'm Ali.
And I'm Sarah.
And it's finally here. This is our big predictions episode. You've heard us go through the groups. You've heard us go through every team one by one. But this is where we bring all of that data together and we give you who we think will go out of the group, into the quarters, into the semis, to the final, and who will take the whole enchilada.
The tournament starts in 48 hours. Like, in literally, this drops on Monday and the tournament starts on Wednesday. It's happening, everybody. Which means the next episode you get after this one is tournament coverage from us on Thursday. Oh my God. I kind of can't believe it's here.
I know. It feels like we've been building up to this for so long and it's finally happening.
I'm excited to go through the bracket because, I mean, that's what we're doing here in our predictions episode. We're going to go through the bracket. We're going to talk through who we think advances first and second out of each group. It might have changed since we did our preview episodes. It might not have. I can say one of mine has changed.
Mine might have because I can't remember what I said in the preview episodes.
We literally didn't do it that long ago. You've already forgotten.
Yeah, so I've just done a fresh thing by going through the groups. So who knows what I'm going to say?
Who knows what you're going to say? It would be so funny if you put one of them to go last. Well, if you did, I literally, one of the teams I think that I put to go last. Oh, no, that's not true. I think I put them to go third and now I have them advancing. A little foreshadowing here. What was I going to say? Yeah, before we hit record, I was like, wait, I'm going to do something crazy in Group B. And Allie was like, are you not going to have Spain advancing? I was like,
yeah.
Please, not that crazy. Let's not get out of hand here. We still want to be somewhat accurate. We want it. This is what happens with brackets. Like, you want to make it exciting, but you also don't want to be an idiot about it, right?
It's very true. It's very true.
All right. Tell them what we're doing in this episode. Besides, of course, the bracket, which we'll start with.
So we are going to start with the bracket and we're going to go, like I said, through the quarters, through the semis and to the final. We're also going to tease you with who we think is going to get Golden Glove. FYI, not a real award in the Euros, but we will award it anyway. And who we think will get Golden Boot. Now, Sarah hasn't prepped hers. I'm going to jump into hers. It's going to come through organically as we do this. I have prepped mine, but I'm prepared for it to be another one of my Iceland predictions.
For the record, I prepped my bracket. I forgot to prep Golden Boot and Golden Glove, even though that's an award we give out. We're also going to give out a third place award because there's no consolation game. There's no third place game. I wish there was. I would like them to add that to this tournament.
Yeah, it'd be nice for somebody to get the bronze medal.
I like it. Why not add into the bronze? We're going to. Let's do it. Let's get into the bracket, everybody. We're going to start off by going through the groups. We're going to both say who we have advancing. So there's 4 groups. The top 2 teams advance. And then we're going to do the same thing with the quarters, semis, of course, down to the final. So let's start with Group A. Allie. Group A, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland. Which are the 2 you have advancing?
I have Norway going top of the group, and then I have Iceland going out second.
I have the exact same. But we knew that was going to happen in this group.
Yeah, based on what we did, I did remember that from our discussion on Group A, that I don't see miracles happening from Finland or Switzerland.
We both have kind of a gripe with Group A and slightly with Group B, but mainly with Group A. That's going to become apparent as we go through this.
So for the challenges that we're taking on the teams from Group A is Group B, which is Spain, Belgium, Portugal, and Italy. Sarah, who do you have going first and second?
Spain is going first out of this group. And Italy, I have going second.
Here's the curveball.
That was my curveball. I had, in our group previews, I kind of talked myself into Belgium and out of Italy. But I don't know why I did that. I'm going to go with my gut. My gut says Italy. It's going to be Spain first, Italy second.
See, I've gone from your initial instinct. So mine is Spain first. And then Belgium second. Just having seen a lot more of Belgium play recently, I will say I think Belgium are going to do it.
I think you had Italy last in the group previews. You had Spain, Belgium, Portugal, Italy, and I had Spain, Belgium, Italy, Portugal. So I've just switched my Italy and Belgium, my 2 and 3 spots. But either way, I think we both see them losing in the next round. Anyways, that's for the next round, though. Let's move on. Group C, we have Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and Poland. Allie, who do you have going 1 and 2?
I don't think this is going to be a shock to anybody. It's Germany then Sweden.
Same. Although, you know, who knows what could happen? We could see Sweden going first. For a moment, I was like, do I want to sneaky put Denmark in there? And then I was like, no, please.
You've already done one curveball. Don't do another curveball. And then finally, that will face them is Group D, the group of death. It is Netherlands, Wales, England, France.
Okay.
Who have you got 1 and 2?
I distinctly remember what you put in a group previews for this, so I'm curious what you have. I have England going first and France going second, and the Netherlands, unfortunately, missing out. I really hate this about how Group D is structured, because all three of them really, I mean, we haven't seen them play, but from what I can see on their teams, they deserve to be into the next round. So it's going to be sad no matter what. This is what I said in the group previews, and I think I stand by it.
See, I also stand by what I said in the group previews, which is I think France will go first. England will go second.
Here's the thing. If France hadn't thrown us a curveball and left a couple big stars like Le Sommer, Dali, and Renard off the roster, I would have them going third, because it would be, as their new head coach has said, the definition of insanity. The same group expecting different results, but it's a different group. And now I'm curious, and I think maybe something could happen, so I have them going second. Once again, you have no faith in your Lionesses.
I do not, but also France have just played their last friendly, and they just battered the team 5-0, including a Melvin Millard perfect hat-trick. So anybody doesn't know who that is, that's a right foot, a left foot, and a header.
Yeah, but that was Belgium, actually, wasn't it? Who they just battered. Well, that doesn't bode well for you now, does it?
Yeah, but it's France. That's different.
Okay, we'll see.
They're on different sides of the bracket. We've talked about this on text, and the fact that we're going to be honest, we don't like how it's fallen, because A and B is such a smoother ride than C and D is. So
this is a perfect transition, Alice, because let's get into the bracket, because that's exactly what it's going to be. So like the winner of A plays runner-up of B, and then vice versa. 1B plays 2A. So groups A and B get each other in the quarterfinals, and groups C and D get each other in the quarterfinals, what Ali just said. And the bummer about that is that, like, you look at Group C, Germany and Sweden are who I have going 1 and 2. Group D, England and France. Those would be the 4 teams who would play each other in whatever order in the quarterfinals. But then who would you have out of A and B? You'd have like Norway, Iceland, Italy, and Spain. Like, it does not feel fair at all. I think A should be playing C and B should be playing D. And I know they create this structure before the tournament starts, but they should reserve the right to like make the groups and then say, okay, A plays C and B plays D, because this is so not fair. Group A has, or Group B, well, arguably Spain have the easiest ride to the finals is really what it is.
Yeah, that's basically what we're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like somebody from Group A is going to get further than they would have had they been in a different group. But this is tournament football. We can't have too many gripes about it, because this is what it is. And if you're going to win the whole thing, you're going to have to beat the best teams eventually, I guess. But it's still pretty annoying. All right, let's do it. Quarterfinals. So game 1 of the quarterfinals, it's going to be the winner of Group A versus the second place team in Group B. Now, Allie, for you, that is Norway versus Belgium. Who do you have advancing?
Belgium.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, see? I threw you. I have Belgium beating Norway. I have Belgium beating Norway.
I love this because of how frustrating Norway are.
Exactly.
Neither of us even wanted to put them out of the group, but because of the group they're in, we had to.
Exactly.
And this is where your lack of faith in Norway comes into play.
Exactly. You have nailed it bang on in the fact that Norway are a mess. They are still a mess, I'm sorry, but they are. They're only getting out of the group because of the teams they're playing in Group A, and they're going to come up against a pretty reasonable Belgium side, and I think they're going to crumble. So I say that Belgium will advance to the semis, but it's still to your point that a team is getting further than it should because of the way the bracket fell.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have Norway playing Italy because Norway is my 1A and Italy is my 2B. I do have Norway winning, and I hate myself for it.
It's a lot of self-loathing in this bracket.
It's so annoying because I really, like I said in the group previews, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What happens when you fool me 4 times and I continue to pick you to go through and you never, ever come through? And here I am picking you not only to win the group, not only to get to the quarters, but to win in the quarters and get to the semis. But it all came down to the fact that, like, at the end of the day, I just look at who Norway has on the roster. Yeah. And I think, how can this talent not beat a team that just, like, literally on a person-to-person level, and this is no disrespect to Italy, but, you know, you look at where the players play, like, player-to-player talent, Norway trumps it. And Norway trumps Italy. So I picked Norway. I'm going to regret it. Let's move on. All right, we're going to keep it on this side of the bracket because that is what we're calling quarterfinal game 1. That was 1A versus 2B. Allie has Belgium winning. I have Norway winning. And the winner of that game is going to play the winner of quarterfinal number 2, which is the winner of Group C versus the second place of Group D. So 1C versus 2D.
And on my one, that is a very famous rivalry. It is Germany versus England.
That's right.
If we do it my way, I have a replay of the final of 2022.
In the quarters,
I have it in the quarters, baby.
Wow, Allie. Do you regret your choices now that they're meeting in the quarters within your bracket, or no?
Yes, because I probably would have rather faced Sweden in my bracket.
Of course.
At the same time, we have beaten Germany. We have beaten Germany recently. We beat Germany to get the Euros. It's the time I have faith in my Lionesses.
Okay.
And I say that, especially with this new Germany, who are either going to be absolutely phenomenal or not quite gelled yet, I'm saying England. It won't be a pretty win, but England advances to the semis.
That is wild that you have what I would call arguably some of the favorites, if not the favorite, potentially, to win this tournament in Germany, going out in the quarterfinals. But this is what happens when you have England advancing second, because I do not. I have England going first out of Group D, and France going second. I have Germany going first out of C and Sweden going second. So this game for me becomes Germany versus Germany versus France, and I have Germany beating France and advancing to the semifinals. So in my semifinal number 1, I'm going to have Norway versus Germany. In your semifinal number 1, you have Belgium versus England. Ooh.
Yeah, I do.
Should we stay on this side of the bracket and you can just tell us we should just finish and see who goes to the final from there on this side?
What, England versus Belgium?
Yeah. Oh, you never know.
To be fair, I don't, because we played them recently in Nations League and we smacked them 5-0 and then we lost 3-2. So
there we go.
Depends on which England turns up. I have more faith in my Lionesses against a Belgium. That's the thing. You got to fight a really hard opponent to get a fairly decent semi, which is basically what happened in the Euros when we won it. We had a hard quarterfinal against Spain and then we smacked Sweden 4-0. So I'm going to say, if my bracket works out, it's going to be a similar thing. As we beat the hard opponent in the quarters, and then we smack Belgium to make it to the final.
I guess that is true of, like, quarterfinal number 2. I guess it makes sense, really, it's better to be on this side of the bracket, I will say, and we'll come to that when we get to the next side of the bracket. So, with my semifinal, I have Norway versus Germany, of course, and I have, no surprise, Germany winning and advancing to the final. And that is the left side of the bracket, everybody. Allie has England coming out of that side of the bracket. I have Germany. Shall we go to the other side of the bracket?
Let's go to the other side of the bracket.
Let's go to the right side of the bracket. We're going rewinding all the way back to the quarterfinals. So quarterfinal number 3 is 1B versus 2A. For you, that is Spain advancing first out of Group B and Iceland advancing second out of Group A. Also the same for me. We have the same quarterfinal number 3 here.
Yes.
So Iceland versus Spain, Allie.
Do you want to take a wild guess?
Hey, you know what? When it comes to Iceland, you never know, because you picked Iceland to win all of She Believes at one point, and I'll never let you live that down. And so who knows what you've got going on over there?
I'm not that much of an idiot. Of course it's Spain advancing.
All right. And then I also have the same. Quarterfinal number 4. It is the winner of Group D versus the second place of Group C. So for me, that is England going first in D versus Sweden going second in C. For you, Allie, what is it?
So that is Sweden-France.
All right. So for me, England, Sweden, I have England advancing over Sweden. Sweden getting knocked out in the quarterfinals by the defending champions, the Lionesses. And what do you have?
I also have Sweden getting knocked out, but this time by France.
Ooh, okay.
Because I have no faith in Sweden. They are Norway to me. You can believe in them so many times.
Yeah, but they know how to go deep into a tournament. Like, this was actually a hard decision for me because they know how to win a tournament. Well, not win, but they know how to go deep into a tournament.
They haven't won a tournament since 1984, Sarah.
No, but they've gone deep into tournaments and they rarely get knocked out that early. You know, like they can pull it out.
Yeah, but I have faith in New France.
I can see this going south for either France in your pick, if it's France, Sweden, or frankly, England, Sweden in my pick. Like I can see this going truly any direction. Yeah. I don't know. I feel sad that neither of us picked Sweden to keep going, but those are two huge opponents.
Yeah. Again, so this bracket's terrible.
I think the France-Sweden is like a very interesting matchup that if you're right, I'm going to be very excited to see.
It'll be a good game as a neutral. I have to say that. I'm hoping I'm right for that reason.
All right, let's move it along. So semifinals, we on this side, on the right side of the bracket, we both had Spain advancing. I have England playing Spain in the semifinal. You have France playing Spain in the semifinal on the right side of the bracket. Either way, what a game. Am I right?
Oh, it's going to be a phenomenal game because you either have a replay of the World Cup final or you have the bastions of European football because both teams have very strong links to their players that they have chosen for their 23 playing in their country. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be that real knockout, slug out European bash. They know each other so well. They've all played each other in Champions League and things like that. So it's going to be either way. That is going to be the semi-final to watch.
This is why it gets so fun deep into this bracket is because I feel like all of these top teams, all of these heavy hitters know each other so well. And I agree. This is going to be the semifinal to watch. The other semifinal is not going to be that fun because whoever comes out of that first quarterfinal, like whether it's Norway or Iceland or Belgium or Italy, like whoever you have coming out of there, we all think that they're going to get smacked in the semifinal by either Germany or France or England or whoever you have going out of the other groups, you know? So this is for sure on the right side going to be the semifinal to watch. We feel like it's going to be Spain versus somebody in this semifinal on the right side of the bracket.
Yeah.
All right. The moment of truth, Allie. Spain versus, for you, France.
Yeah.
Who wins and advances to the final?
Yeah, that one it's Spain.
Ooh.
It is. That's where my faith in New France disappears because Spain are a well-oiled, if you get the right Spain on the right day, then they are a well-oiled machine.
I'm glad you said that, Allie, because my Spain versus England semifinal on this bracket was on this right side of the bracket was very hard to think about because, of course, I mean, everybody wants to see this. This is the World Cup final repeat. We've seen these teams play each other since then. It's gone both ways. And it does really depend on which England shows up and which Spain shows up. And I initially circled Spain because at the end of the day, I do think that they're probably a better, more comprehensive team. Like, if both teams are at their best, Spain is better. But I am so disheartened by how they did in the Olympics. I don't think they performed well at all. And I think that there's something wrong and there's something missing. And it's the coaching, it's the managing. And I think at the end of the day, Sarina Wiegman is going to outcoach Montse Tomé, and I think that is going to be the deciding factor, and I think England will advance over Spain out of this semifinal.
Both of these, in both permutations, it depends if France go if Spain go down first. Because we've seen it before that if they go a goal down, they tend to lose their heads and it gets very bitty and it gets very out there. So if you can get a quick goal against Spain, then you're in with a better chance than if you hold it at 0-0 for long, because they're more likely to nick a goal as it goes on.
For me, another factor to look at is depth. In tournaments, a good way to determine who you think and predict who you think might win is who has the most depth, because it's not easy in a tournament to play every third day. And depth comes in, like, you're not going to win a tournament if you don't have depth, period, the end. For me, that is why I don't necessarily think France is going that deep into the tournament. They have a great roster. Is it as deep as an England, as a Spain, as a Germany? I don't necessarily think so. But that's also why it was so hard for me between these two teams of Spain and England, arguably some of the deepest teams in this tournament. So that's why for me it just came down to managing. All right, let's talk about the final, Allie. We've made it here. For you, you have England coming out of the left side of the bracket. For you, they advanced second in their group, but it ended up being a good thing, and they make it all the way to the final. And then you have Spain coming out of the right side of your bracket. So you have Spain, England in the final. For me, I have Germany coming out of the left side of the bracket. For me, the winners of Group C, making it all the way to the final. And I have England, the winners of Group D, coming out of the bracket first and making it to the final out of the right side of the bracket. So I have England versus Germany. You have Spain versus England. The only common denominator here is England. I'm starting to think we might be biased. Are we?
Well, I think I would get absolutely lampooned if I did not pick my own country.
Yeah,
despite
true.
my reservations. I mean, I don't have them to win, spoiler alert, but...
You said spoiler alert, Allie.
Spoiler alert, I have Spain winning it.
All right, I have England versus Germany.
Ooh, replay.
I have Germany winning.
Replay of the 2022.
I have a replay of the 2022, but this time it goes the opposite direction, and I think Germany wins. But that's funny that we both have England making it to the final, but losing in the final. Why? Tell me why.
I feel like ever since the World Cup final, for my bracket, Spain being the opponent, England have had this mental block against Spain. So they have beat them a couple of times since. They've lost a few times to them since. And I just feel like England are tired, man, by the time they get to this. So yeah, I think there's this mental block against Spain that England have when it comes to this. And yeah, unfortunately I see it being a repeat of the World Cup final. The thing is, again, it's just I feel like England will hold on against Spain and they'll try and block them, and that doesn't work. And the longer you hold off, the longer that Spain will be able to nick a goal.
See, I have England actually beating Spain in the semifinal. I get what you're saying, though, about the mental block. I do think that that's real. But they've beat Spain. They have literally beat Spain since the World Cup.
Yes, and they've also lost to Spain.
That's true. But I do think that the having beaten them and in the recent past will come into play. There is a mental block, but I think that they can get through it. The thing about England is that it's a great squad. It's a deep squad, well coached. You look at it and there's really, on paper, you feel like there's nothing that can go wrong, but it doesn't. We talked about how we don't know if they've gelled. We don't know. There's a tiny bit of a missing piece that you can almost put your finger on. You can almost not. Is it something tangible, or is it that intangible that a lot of these winning squads just kind of have, where they're so gelled, and that intangible piece is actually what drives them to literally win the tournament. I think that England had that in the Euros in 2022. I don't necessarily know that it's here this year. And they are that team that, like, when they're great. But when they're not, you can really see where the holes are. And I think a team like Germany, when they come up against Germany, is going to be organized enough on defense that it's going to frustrate England. And they are going to be able to exploit England's downsides better than anybody else in this tournament can. And that's just what it is for me at the end of the day. Tactically, they'll lose out in the final.
See, I have more faith in England beating Germany than I do have them beating Spain. Because that old rivalry, like, you ask anybody what's one of the biggest rivalries in international football, it's England-Germany. It is in the men's game, it is in the women's game, it's in the unders. It just is. It's one of the biggest rivalries, especially European football, going ever since England won the World Cup in '66 with the men's. So I feel like that gives that extra bite. And also, they've done it. They've beaten Germany in a Euros final.
But on the flip side, don't you think that makes Germany come with an extra chip on their shoulder? Like, I looked at it when I looked at this final matchup that I have of England versus Germany. I'm thinking there is no way Germany can come into this game and allow that to happen twice in a row. I just can't see it happening.
This is why the bracket's fun.
This is why it's so fun. All right. My winner is Germany. Your winner is Spain. Both of our runners-up are England. If there was a third place game, your third place game would be France versus Belgium. Who would win in your third place game?
France. Hands down.
Easy peasy.
Sorry, Red Flames.
Mine's pretty easy too, to be totally fair, because I have Spain versus Norway as a third place game, because Norway is losing to Germany in the first semifinal and Spain is losing to England in the second semifinal, according to my bracket. And definitely Spain.
So this is the joy of the bracket. We have very similar feelings. We have very different feelings. The most important part is to see who's going to get bragging rights at the end. Now to the fun awards. Who's going to get the Golden Glove, which again is just an award we're awarding because you don't get one in the Euros. And who's going to win the Golden Boot, which you do get in the Euros.
Let's do it. I have not prepared for this part, but you have. So I think you should go first.
So I'm giving my Golden Glove to probably the Spanish number one.
Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, no, Carol Cole, I think that she's really good at keeping clean sheets, or she lets in like one goal, which sometimes you need. But yeah, so for me, I think Golden Glove is going to be what is probably, looking at their 23 they're taking, will be the Spanish number one.
I really like that. I think that she's underrated as well. So I really adore that pick. For me, picking Golden Glove is all about just like, you have to pick somebody who's going late into the tournament, obviously. So, and then most likely is going to be in the final, but could potentially be third place. And you have to pick, it's interesting because like you want to pick a team that has a good defense, but not that good of a defense because they have to come up big sometimes. All right. Can I tell you what I'm between?
Go on.
After thinking about this? My two teams in the final are Germany and England, and I'm kind of in between AKB and Hannah Hampton. The thing is, I don't really want to pick Hannah Hampton because that's a wild pick, but I do think that for England to get to a final, Hannah Hampton is going to have to come up huge. Now, of course, for Germany to get to a final, AKB is going to have to do the same. I'm going AKB. I have to. I still feel bad I didn't pick her to even be a starter before, and now I'm going to
make up for it.
I'm going to throw all of my eggs in that basket. I think it's Ann-Katrin Berger.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, now to the other end of the pitch and the Golden Boot. Now, I've gone a bit left field with this because, and my honest answer is because why not? My Golden Boot, I'm going England, and I'm going Aggie Beever-Jones.
Oh my goodness, that is a big why not.
That is a big because why not? Because she's scoring goals for fun at Chelsea. She was scoring goals for fun for England. So that's my Golden Boot pick, Aggie Beever-Jones.
That's a huge why not. I'm going, oh shoot. I'm literally about to pick two people from Germany. I was going to pick Schuler, but I'm actually going to take that back. I'm going to go with Claudia Pina.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with the youngster.
That's a good shout.
All right, that's it for this predictions episode. Allie, as always, it's been a blast. And as always, you got confused about who plays who on what side of the bracket.
Yep.
I sent you two photos. I
didn't look at yours. I wanted to be surprised by yours. And then I went on the website and I'm like, this makes no sense.
Literally went to the UEFA. For everybody listening, I sent Allie the UEFA website and I sent Allie a photo of what I had drawn out with the bracket literally drawn out, and they still were like, wait, who plays who?
But I didn't want to look at your answers. I sent it to you
before I even wrote any answers in?
No. Oh, no. Because I thought you were going to send me the answers, and I was like, no, I don't want to see what you got.
I respect that. I do. You don't want to be influenced.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that is it. We did it. That was all of the group previews and the predictions, and the Euros are about to start, everybody. Wednesday, July 2nd. Call out sick. Do whatever you need to do. The first match is Iceland versus Finland. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time if you're on the west coast of the U.S., noon Eastern if you're on the east coast of the U.S., and 5 p.m. GMT. That's how we say UK time, right? If you're in the UK or in that time zone. Any other time zones, I've given you 3. You can do the math off of it. But just do what you need to do. Sit down, watch it, go to a bar. We're so pumped. And our next episode will drop Thursday, the following day after the Euros start. We'll talk about all things day 1 of Euros.
Just a reminder, during this Euros coverage, we'll be dropping 2 episodes a week. That is 1 on a Monday, 1 on a Thursday. So you're getting double the content, guys.
All right, and that's it for us here at the Women's Soccer Show. This has been Euros predictions, and this has been the entirety of our Euros previews. We'll see you on Thursday for the kickoff of our Euros tournament coverage. I've been Sarah.
And I've been Ali.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.